Welcome to the second day of MEF Connect Business Messaging, our opportunity to bring together the industry, to talk, to connect, and to actually learn a bit more about what's happening out there. And these are strange times, but they are always already. As my morning look, I'm realizing that I'm not dressed up for the occasion because, also I should say it. We have 1,000 participants, registered users as just now. So I think, well, welcome to all of you. Maybe not all of you at once, but welcome anyway. And through the day, through the different time zone as well, we're going to be able to reach the different of you and the different topics that you offer. But as I said, it's a special times. My suggestions and the suggestion for the entire team for MEF Connect is, well, definitely is a potential to learn. We're going to sit and learn a lot from 115 different speakers. So there is a lot, and 30 different countries are presented. We're global and we're full of insight. Very soon we're going to have an entire day fully packed of interesting discussions. We talk about fraud quite a bit today, which is unfortunately one of those big topics that the industry really has and has been tackling. We start with the independent view of Pamela Clark-Dixon, which has been already discussing with us on a month ago at MEF Connect Innovators. And Pamela was telling us more about the resurgence of grey root, something to keep in track. So we'll hear presentations, obviously from Omdia, an entire view at the trend, the markets, but also this specific that will lead us into a conversation with the major trade association and bodies, which include us, but not just. And there would be GSMA, i3 Forum, RAG, and MEF grilled, if you want to grill them, about what has been done or not been done about this topic. We'll turn it around and also ask in another sessions the industry, and you can also have a chance to get some questions to them. But I say it is not just all of these different sessions and the different speakers we're going to be seeing about fraud, which is going to be important. Namely, should say that we're going to have sessions about firewalls, so also what to do with it. And we're going to have there Anand and Tata and Airtel India talking about that. We are going to have the support of iBasis when talking about the role of the pandemic. I think with Giovanni Benini, with Jose, his colleague from GTC. And in the afternoon, we kind of switch gear a bit and talk about the structure of the industry and what's happening, because M&As, IPOs, a lot of exciting things are happening in the area of CPaaS or business messaging in general. And we will do that with a couple of interesting discussions. We're going to have Paul Rupert also discussing with the American view on that. I'm going to speak directly with Silvio Kutic, for the CEO of Infobip, on himself, Infobip, and the view of what's happening now. But I should also say something that I don't want to miss is Stacey Stubblefield from Telesign, the founder, telling us the role and the importance of data in the market as well. And that's going to be interviewed by Andrew. So we're going to have Jose Garcia, we're going to have Giovanni Benini, we're going to have James finishing up on the successful new format we found out yesterday. Very enjoyable, very nice, a bit fresh for us to play with some very good speakers and discuss some of the key topics in the industry. It's a bit of fun, but there's a lot of insight in there as well. So thanks to all of the speakers that joined us yesterday, and more at the end of today. Well, I think I missed a few things. XConnect actually is presenting us on two-factor authentication, which is one of the gold mines so far on SMS. What's coming, how important it is. We'll discuss all of that. I should probably then stop and say about a big thank you to all the sponsors, because they make this happening and they make this available to everybody, which is a free event. So tell your friends they can join us, as you know, for free. But well, thank you to Mavenir, to Infobip, to iMy Mobile, to XConnect, to Cubus Mobile, to Telesign, .co, Intis Telecom, and Root Mobile. Now, that's the beginning of a day. I actually have, let me go and check. Well, I used to have 10 minutes. I think it's probably reduced to 5. And we want to start every morning giving you some insight on what the other part of MEF does as well, which is, well, some reports, some of our data, some of our information we share with our members. If you're not a member, I strongly suggest you do. We'll talk about it later. But let me show you some presentation right now and some quick numbers before we open the floor then to the real one and to our Pamela. So if I could have this slide, please. No, well, I'll tell you when. Okay. Here we go. We have a slides. Perfect. Very, very fast. But first of all, and don't trust me, there is going to be a report, a proper one, published in May 2021. Actually, we're going to have some early results in April, I hope. But the results of the survey are just out, and they're pretty interesting. This is our 7th annual report from MEF. And our global consumer trust. So we really take the pulse on what customers are thinking. Now, when we start asking first is what bothers them, what concerns them, what are the main issues? And I think obviously losing money is number one, 49%. But the entire bracket of what we ask is quite short. So people are worried a lot. Only 9% are not worried. And they worry about spam, which is 37%, still quite a lot. So if you look at what happened is people are pretty concerned. It's not they're having an easy life on their smartphone. And well, maybe they shouldn't have, because once also we ask, have you experienced some of these? The quite high incidence. So the real harm is happening out there. Some of them is spam, which is annoyance. It's 39%. So almost 4 in 10 or 1 in 5 of our customers would have experienced spam, which is pretty high numbers, and actually it's not looking like it's getting any better there. But also look carefully. Number 2 and number 3 is phishing, so email stealing your personal data, or even smishing. Well, we had to learn how to pronounce recently, using SMS as a way to steal your login accounts for banks, etc. There is much more in there, but those 3 already are concerning enough for us and the entire industry. Now, I have more news for you, and it's not very good. It's probably the unspoken issue. Yes, many will tell you that the industry is still growing, everything is fine. What are you worried about? Fraud is just happening. Fraud will always happen, which is true. Fraud will always happen. But the cost of fraud is a cost of the entire industry, because that means that users don't have trust. That means that they actually then don't want to do certain things or will do less. Effectively, 37% of smartphone users have deleted an app because they didn't feel comfortable with that. They avoid installing an app because of issues about security and privacy again, or stopping using a service altogether, or talking to other friends. I mean, 1 in 3 almost has done at least some of these things. People don't buy on the phone, they leave negative reviews. Now, even if you are in the market of business messaging, that has got a direct impact, because your end consumer is going to find out more difficult to achieve the ROI they want because of this. So a spammer or somebody that is actually frauding customers is not just doing their own business, is stealing money in a bad way, but is actually stealing money to the entire system, because the potential of mobile will always be reduced by fees. So for that reason, MEF, which is a trade body in associations, and we like to champion the topics that cross industry needs to, cross ecosystem needs to be discussed. We'll always find time to speak about fraud, and sometimes people complain about it, but until it's there in such a level, we need to discuss. And it does impact your business messaging. We've seen these slides before as well. So 34% of people complain that some of their business messaging is simply spam. So do it, and do it well, for your end customers and for your pockets in the end. But I would like to tell you that all of those information is going to be available in our reports. As always, reports is divided in executive summary. Everybody can have a look at. And if you're wondering, if you have questions on when is it going to be available, etc., you just go on our website. Actually, subscribe to our MEF Minute, so we'll know exactly when it happens. That's our newsletter, so do that. So the 7th annual report, our big surveys on consumer trust is coming, and many others are coming over the year. So please, well, come enjoy it. And if you're a member, there are benefits as always. You have the extensive report, but you also have a raw data that you can insert into your own evaluation and discussions. So more on the membership. I hope to talk to you about membership, as we have quite a few of you that are not members yet, and I'd like to convince you to join. But enough about my selling of our lovely trade association, not for profit. Now we need to go and talk about some of the real business, and nothing is more important right now in understanding all the changes that are happening in the market. And let's be guided by Pamela Clark-Dixon, the principal analyst at Omdia, in our next presentations. I will also be there with Pamela next, maybe to help out on some of the questions. But right now, it's a warm welcome, and let's make the next session start. Thanks for me.